Hi guys, how are you all doing? We're in some really strange times at the moment, and even though we're not able to meet in person, I just wanted to make this first video just to update you really on some of the things that are going to be happening over the next couple of months or so. Before I go into any kind of notices, I just wanted to reassure you with and read to you a bit from Psalm 23. I've stumbled across this psalm a lot over the last week, and I just think it's beautiful, and it is genuinely one of my favourite psalms. So this was written by David when he was speaking in a time of his life where he was under a lot of pressure. This wasn't a nice time in his life, and it feels like at the moment maybe we're under a lot of pressure. I don't know how that feels for you. So while I read this, just listen and see if you can take any of it in. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. He refreshes my soul. He guides me along the right paths for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil. For you are with me, your rod and staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely your goodness and love will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Like I said, this is one of my favourite psalms, and it was written by David when he was in quite a difficult time. And I think that right now we're in quite a difficult time, and the bit that really struck out for me in that verse was where it said, even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil because you are with me. And when we're going through this time over the next couple of months where things are changing and we don't really know what's happening and we can't meet, it does feel like we're walking down a dark valley. And so I just wanted to reassure you and kind of give you a few tips of things that, maybe to think about. So remember, the first thing is that God is with you. He is always with us. And in this time, it's really important to remember that. Another thing to do is that every day there's things on the news, there's live updates. And even though it's important to stay focused and look at what's going on there, I challenge you or encourage you not to spend your whole time watching the news and seeing what's going on. It's also important to find some things that you enjoy doing. So when I'm a bit stressed out, I like to play my guitar. Even though some people are self-isolating or you're socially distancing yourself from people, it's still okay to go outside and, maybe just take a walk around your garden. Sometimes that's really refreshing for the mind, and it can really help you to remember that, God is still with us in this time. And so the next thing that I really wanted to do now was just to bring you a few notices. So I understand it's been a little bit weird over the last week or so, not really knowing what's going on. We didn't have church yesterday, so we didn't meet physically, but it doesn't mean we disappeared. So there's just a few things that I wanted to share with you today. I've got a few notes down here, so just bear with me as I share them. So the first thing is that I'm creating this YouTube channel, and really it's just a space where I can share a weekly devotion with you guys, maybe once a week, just a thought, or if you've got any questions that you might like me to answer, then again, just pop them in the WhatsApp, email them to me, and I'll try my best to answer them, or someone else will try and answer them for you. As well as that, I've created a resource book. It's not quite finished yet, so again, later on this week or something, I'll be emailing that out to the Renew Youth Google group. And inside there is just some Bible verses, some fun challenges for you to take part in that you can do at home. We might have a bit of a healthy kind of competition going on where we can create a leaderboard, and you never know, there might be some prizes at the end. Again, even though we can't meet in person, we can meet digitally. So there's a thing called Zoom, where we will hopefully, maybe on a Sunday, I'm thinking, just have half an hour where we can all as a group catch up on there and just have a chat and encourage one another and just chat about how our week's going, that kind of thing. So I will send out a permission form to your parents, and if you want to be in this, just get them to sign that permission form and email it back to me in the next week or so, and we can look at getting that sorted. I'm not sure as well if you've seen, Alan's also created a church YouTube page where he's uploading videos and things and updates, so that's really good to click into as well. And also on there he mentioned about a Spotify playlist, and he's sharing that today. He sent a link out earlier, so I will put that into the WhatsApp as well and the Google group. And basically I really encourage you to click on that playlist and listen to it if you want to. And you know, there's a lot of worship songs on there, and I think there's something quite comforting in this time, knowing that as a church we're all listening to the same songs. I think that's quite reassuring. But again, if there's other songs, you know, that you like, drop them in the WhatsApp or email them to me, and we can create our own Renew Youth Spotify playlist as well if there's some other songs that you want to have. So just before I go, I just wanted to say one more thing. You know, if you've got any questions at all about anything, or you know, you're unsure about what's going on, just drop me an email. Drop Paul an email. We'll be happy to answer your questions. Drop the questions in the WhatsApp group. You know, we're still here for you. Also remember that we have our Instagram page, so if you're on there and you're following that, click in. I'll put some daily Bible verses on there, things like that. So I'm really looking forward to what's coming over the next few months. I know it's a change and things are looking quite different, but I'm really excited about what's to come, and I hope you are too. So before I go, I'd just like to pray for us, and then I will leave you to the rest of your day. Yeah, so Father, I thank you that you are always with us, and even when we are walking through the darkest valleys, that we don't have to fear what's going on, because we know that you're with us and you will comfort us, Lord. And as we go through this time where we aren't able to physically meet in person, that we will know that there's other ways that we can meet, and that we're never far from each other. You know, we've got ways of communicating, Lord. I just pray that when we're scared that or unsure of what's going on, that you will just fill us with your presence more than ever before, Lord. I pray that this isn't a time where we draw back from you and become distant, but I pray it's a time where we actually come closer to you, and we are able to learn more about you, and just really feel your love and your presence in this time, Lord. Amen. So thank you guys. I really look forward to seeing you again soon. Have a lovely week.